Very good morning to everyone. We once again welcome you all to the day 5 of the 6 days faculty development program on Python programming. And today we have Dr. Anita, who is going to handle the session today on the topic image processing and Python. I take the privilege in welcoming Dr. Anita ma'am. She is an assistant professor working as in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Deemed to be University, Chennai. She possesses about 12 years of experience in the field of education and has published more than 20 publications in the 17 Scopus Index and 11 Web of Science Index journals. And her area of research include the digital image processing, fiber optic communication, cryptography, and artificial intelligence. And she is she's also the member of the professional bodies like IEEE and the Institution of Engineers India. And she has been the resource person and one of the certified training program on Arduino for automation and control, and that was held for a week. And she has also filed a patent on the coating of quantum dot particles with less toxic semiconductors for the fabrication of thin film substrate on PV cells. And with these few words, I welcome Dr. Anita ma'am to handle this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Joni ma'am. Thank you very much. Good morning, one and all who are present here. See, today I am going to talk about the image processing and the Python tools for doing the image processing. I am you, Anita, assistant professor in the Department of ECE in Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. Okay. So before going into the image processing tools, first we have a quick glance about the image processing techniques. So these are the glimpse of the presentation. First I am going to talk about what is the image processing, and then what are the Python tools available for doing the image processing, and some examples, and the research project what I have done in that image processing area, and what are the recent trends present in the image processing field. These are the topics I am going to cover in this presentation. So first, we have a quick glance about the image processing now. So why image processing? Why we are going for image processing first? See, basically we have 5 sensory organs like eyesight, hearing, touch sense, smell, and taste. In that 5 sense, eyesight is the most powerful tool because 99% of our brain activity is involved based on the eyesight capturing of the image by our eyesight. So visual image have that much power. So we can get more information through our visual eyesight. So a picture can worth 1,000 words. This is the phrase. So one picture can tell information given by 1,000 words. So commonly, if you go for, we cannot able to see all the things directly through our eye. So we are using some tools like sensors or cameras to capture those images. So for all other applications, we are capturing images through some sensors or some photographic camera, these things. So even if you are capturing those images, common characteristic of those images are having a low resolution, low contrast, blurring of the image and color diminishing. So this kind of noises will be there during the capturing of images. So for all the applications, we cannot go directly into that area and we cannot view the pictures directly. So we are using this kind of devices, external devices. So those devices capturing images are having this kind of low qualities. So if you are taking the picture using some other external devices, automatically the low quality images are there. So that low quality images lead to the incorrect analysis. So the technique called image processing get evolved. So what is image processing now? So the image processing is the procedure of converting our digital image into a suitable form for recording the information from the image. So that is our image processing. So there are many applications in our image processing, like medicinal field. In the medicinal field, we are diagnosing the diseases, what are the defects present in that area and what is the disease, and this kind of analysis are done in our medicinal field. And the face recognition, iris, signature recognition, this kind of activities are done in the forensic department. And the automobile detection, military applications, weather monitoring, remote sensing like radar, sonar, satellite images, archaeological research, remote robot vision, many application areas are there. So basically, we are going to do the image processing, and this is the block diagram, general block diagram for the image processing. Once we are capturing any image, that image is given to a ADC converter. The images are captured either through a sensor or a photographic camera that is given to the ADC converter. Now the analog image is converted into a digital image through intermediate steps called sampling, quantization, that and that. Then our analog image is stored as a digital image into the computer as an array matrix. So numerical data. So the analog image is now signal is converted into a numerical value that gets stored in our computer. So inside the computer, we are doing the image processing techniques. We are implementing some image processing like increasing the brightness of the image, improving the contrast level, or reducing the noise level in the image. Like that, we are doing some basic image processing operations over the image, and we are storing it. Or either we are converting it again into an analog image, and we can display it through any display device. Or otherwise, another option is we can also transmit through a network to some other area also. So this is our generalized block diagram for our image processing. So now this is the general flow process inside the computer. So we captured the image and we converted into a digital form, and then we are storing into the computer. Inside the computer, we are doing some process. Some of the examples are given here. For example, I have taken here a sonar image. If you are taking any image, that is first we have to identify what type of noise present in the image. Then you have to reduce the noise, and you have to enhance the quality of the image. If you want to identify any part, any particular part or object present in the image, then you have to go for the edge detection, then segment that particular part, then extract the feature of that particular object, and based on the feature extracted, we have to identify what kind of object is that. Like that, interpretation, finally the analysis or the interpretation of that particular object has been done as a result. So these are the steps or the flow of process inside our computer. Okay. So this process, steps of process is again divided into 3 levels: low level, medium level, and the high level. If you go for the low level, the identification and the filtration of noise comes under the low level of process. Then the enhancement, edge detection, segmentation, this kind of process comes under medium level of process. And the feature extraction, interpretation or identification, and the analysis of the object comes under the high level of process. So the process of image processing is again divided into 3 various levels like this. Then the classification of image. Usually we are telling we are having an image, we are going to do the process, and we are interpreting that kind of image. All the things are happening. So first basic things we want is image. Okay. So there are many types of image based on the sensors or the camera what you are using to capture the image. So based on that, image is classified again into many types: satellite image, radar image, laser image, X-ray image, ultrasound, sonar image, MRI image, microscopy, photography, tomography. Any image types are there. So based on the types of image, we have to choose what type of process we need for that particular application, and you have to implement it, and you have to get the result. Okay. Then now we are going to discuss about what are the Python tools and the kit available for doing the image processing. Basically, there are 10 Python tools are available for doing the image processing. First one is NumPy, that is numerical Python. It contains the numerical tools. That means, as I already told, our analog image is converted into a digital image as a matrix. So we need to do all the manipulation or the operations of image processing techniques. Everything has been done into that matrix only. So we need a mathematical supporting tool for doing the image processing in our Python. That is given by this NumPy. So the NumPy tool is very, very important for doing the image processing techniques using Python. So we have, once you are going to install a Python, you have to check whether this NumPy is present in your toolkit. Then second thing is Scikit image. This is also an open source Python package. It works for a 1D and a 2D array of matrix. Okay. Then SciPy. This is also a supporting tool of NumPy only. This is also a open source. Here we can do a manipulation for n-dimensional array. So in the Scikit, you can do 1-dimensional or 2-dimensional functions of the matrix, and this SciPy supports the n-dimensional array. Then PhilOPL. The pill or pillow. This is a Python image library. This will also support our image processing techniques like point operations and the kernel convolution, color space convolutions. These are the major packages present in this pill library. Then OpenCV. This is one of the most widely used Python tool for image processing. This is very fast and also easy. I'll show you some of the examples in this OpenCV image processing functions of our Python. Then SimpleCV. This is another version of OpenCV. Some of the libraries are not, by comparing the OpenCV and the SimpleCV, in the SimpleCV, some of the library functions are missing, but it supports the camera video. This main CV, SimpleCV is used for the video processing. Then Mahathos. This is also contains the image processing functions, and mainly it supports the computer vision functioning. So like graphics, this kind of operations and all supported by this Mahathos. Then the this type of open source toolkit, it supports image segmentation, registration, and the filtering operations. So this kind of toolkits are mostly present in this simple IT kit. Then Magic. This is a graphic magic library. It supports all type of image formats like JPEG, PNG image, PNM image, TIFF image. All kind of formats of images are supported by this library. Then PyCasio. This Cairo graphic library, it supports the 2D graphic library for drawing, vector graphics, and it also rectifies the transformation losses. If you are doing one-dimensional transformation or discrete wavelet transformation, any type of transformation, the loss of image quality during the transformation are rectified by this tool. So these are the basic tools available in our Python kit in order to do the image processing. So the basic operations in image processing using Python, using OpenCV and the link. So the first and most useful basic operation in our image processing is a morphological operation. As you already know, this morphological operation mainly contains two things. One is erosion, second is dilution. If you are giving any, if you want to do any morphological operation, we need two things. One is our original image and another one is a kernel. So for doing any morphological operation into a software like OpenCV or whatever thing, Python or MATLAB, we need two things: image processing, that is the original image, and the second one is the kernel size. So what the kernel will do, the kernel is nothing but a small block. We are going to divide the entire image into a small blocks. That is our kernel. So here we are fixing, see the program here, kernel is equal to np.ones of 5,5. So this 5,5 is the size of the kernel. So the entire image size is 256 cross 256 matrix. Here we are going to take 5 cross 5 matrix from the topmost left corner to the bottom of the right corner. We are going to move this kernel in a zigzag manner. So starting from the left topmost, 5 cross 5 matrix is taken, and in that matrix first it will check for the erosion process. It will check the kernel if all the values present inside the kernel is same or not. If it is not, any image, the kernel's the value inside the kernel is not almost same. See, for example, I have taken here one input image with the character J. Okay, so we are going to do the erosion operation. Erosion means it will reduce the size of the boundary size of the image. So we are going to erase the size, boundary size of the image now. So why we are doing this? This erosion is mainly used to remove the small white noises. That's why we are using this erosion operation in our image processing. So here we are going to erode, we are going to erase the boundary thickness of an image. So how it will do? We are using the kernel. So the inside the kernel for the erosion, if any one of the value, we are taking here as a binary image. Binary image means white pixels are taken as value 1, black pixels are taken as value 0. So inside the kernel, if any one value is 0, it will consider all, it will replace all other values as 0 itself. That is erosion. So we are going to erode it by using a black pixel value. The concentration of white pixel get reduced, the concentration of black pixel increases. So for this, we are having a Python program here. We are using the OpenCV. So initially the first command should be import CV2. This will import our OpenCV into the Python toolkit. Then import NumPy. Here we are already, as I already told, we are having all our images as a matrix. So this NumPy is very, very important. So import NumPy is the second command. And the last two commands is cv2.waitKey and the cv2.display all window. So first two lines and this last two lines are mandatory. Then in between you have to read the image. See the third line, image equal to cv2.imRead. So we are reading the image. So first we should read an image. Then we have to fix the kernel size. Here I have fixed the kernel size as 5 cross 5. So this is the format for fixing the kernel. So kernel is equal to np dot. np represents a matrix. So NumPy indicates the supports the matrix. So NumPy as np. So np dot ones of 5 cross 5. np dot unity. So unity indicates binary value. So the erosion, the fourth line is the fifth line is the erosion. Erosion equal to cv2 dot erode of image comma kernel comma iteration 1. So how many iterations you have given here? So one I have given. So erode, this is the command for doing the erosion morphological operation in the Python. So cv2 represents it's an OpenCV program tool. Erode operation we are going to do for the image img with the kernel number of iteration 1. This is the command for doing the erosion. Okay. So next is dilation. So see this erosion, this output image, the border size of the image get reduced. This is our erosion, and also this will reduce the white noise. Then dilation. So here dilation means we are going to increase the border size. See the difference given here. Input image is there, erosion image is there, and the dilation image. Dilation image increases the white pixel concentration in the image and reduces the black pixel concentration. Why we are going for dilation is, once we did the eroded function, the boundary size get reduced along with the white noise also removed. So after removing the white noise, and then we can increase the border size. This will not improve the noise concentration. This will increase only the border size. So after removing the noise using erosion, we are going for the dilation process. So here we are going to increase. So what is the dilation command in the Python is, the first two line and the last two lines are same. The third line we are reading the image. Fourth line we are giving the kernel size. See this first four lines are same. The fifth line only I am changing here. Instead of erosion, here I am going to do dilation. So dilation is equal to cv2.dilate, the same thing. Instead of here we are giving erode, here we are giving dilate. So this command dilate our image. So we can use these things together as opening and closing function. So what is opening? It is nothing but erosion followed by dilation. So individually you can do erosion and also dilation, and combinedly we can do this erosion and dilation together as one function called opening. So in the morphological Python toolkit, these two are together are done by the command called cv2 dot morphology ex of image comma cv2 dot morphology underscore open kernel. This will do opening function. So morph underscore open. This command is used to do erosion followed by dilation together. So erosion removes the white noise present in the image. See the given image. This will remove the white noise present. Erosion removes the white noise, and the dilation increases the border size. So this is our input image and this is our output image. So this is the opening function. Then closing function. So closing function in our image processing is nothing but dilation followed by erosion. If your image is having some small opening inside the image itself. So this is our object. J is our image or object. We want to remove the small holes inside this object. So you have to go for this closing function. So same thing, instead of this open, here it is close. So morph underscore close. This command will do dilation followed by erosion. So this will remove the small holes inside the object, and you will be getting the output image as this. Then color image to a grayscale image. These are all some of the normal operation, basic operations in the image processing. So how a color image is converted into a grayscale image. See here, there is a command convert color, CVT color. This will do convert color for an image comma, CV2 dot color underscore BGR to gray. So that is BGR is blue, green, red. So this color image is converted to a grayscale image. So this is the command for doing the conversion in Python. So this is our color image and it is converted into a grayscale image. All other reading an input image, displaying the image, all the commands are common. Only you have to choose your command, what operation you are going to do, either morphological or a color conversion. Based on that, you have to choose the command accordingly. Then concatenation, this is another one example, concatenation of the image. We are going to join image either horizontal manner or in a vertical manner. Horizontal manner we can join and also vertical manner also you can join the image. So for that we need two images, image 1 and image 2. So Lena and the Babu image we have read it, input image, and that B underscore image will do the vertical concatenation. H underscore is the horizontal concatenation. For that, what is the command? B concad of image 1 and image 2. Another one is CV2 dot H concad of image 1 and image 2. So B concad will do the vertical concatenation and H concad will do the horizontal concatenation. CV2 dot imshow will show the output. So wait and destroy will. Wait command is used to once this operation has been done. If you give this command wait key off, once you press any of the key, then only the output image will come. If you are not using, automatically after executing, immediately the output image will come. But if you give this, it will wait for it will wait to enter any key. If you give enter for any key, then only the output image should come. Once you close the image, the last command is used to close all the window. Once you close the program, the output image also get closed. That is the last command. That's for that purpose only we are using the last command. So these two are not necessary. Based on the application you have to insert. Then image blending. So we are going to add two image. So for that basically there is one formula, alpha dot image 1 plus beta dot image 2 plus gamma. So alpha and beta represents percentage value. See, for example, image 1 and image 2 have been taken. Image 1 with the 70%, image 2 with the 30%, I am going to mix. So for that purpose, image 1, first read the first image 2, read the second image, then TST equal to CV2 dot add weighted. How much weightage you are going to give for those images? That is, first image I am going to take 70%. Second image I am going to give weightage of 30%. If you give 50-50 now, 50% of first image concentration and 50% of second image concentration has been taken. Here 70 and 30 means 70% of first image and 30% of the second image get added. So finally you will be getting the blended image. Or even you can give 50% also, or else you can give 1, 1, 100% of these two are get added. So you can give any weightage. This 0 represents the gamma value. It's just a proportionality constant. Usually it is 0 only. So this is the output for the image blending. We are adding two images. Finally blended image is like this. Then edge detection and denoising. This is also a normal common image processing operation. What is edge detection? If you go for edge detection, there are many edge detection operators are there. Privet, Sobel, Robust, Canny, many things are there. But Canny is the famous one for edge detection. So here I have chosen Canny edge detection. So you have to read the image and then what process you have to do is edge is equal to CV2 dot Canny of image command 100, 200. This 100 and 200 represents the size of the image. So like this way we can do the Canny edge detection. So instead of this Canny, we can use Robust or Privet, whatever edge detector operator we are preferring, that you can replace here. That is our Python OpenCV tool. Then denoising. See, for denoising also we are having many filters, mean filter, median filter, FCM filter, many filters are there. So here I have chosen the median filter. So median equal to CV2 dot median blur of image, 5. This median represents the median filter. So instead of this median blur, we can use mean blur. So mean blur if you are using means mean filter output you will be getting. So this is the original image. After median filter operation, you will be getting the output like this. So this is also a original image. After getting the edge detection, you will be getting the Canny edge detector output as this. So there are so many tools are available. Based on your application, you have to choose your Python tool for doing the image processing. So now I am going to share something about research I have done in the image processing area. So I have done a research in the sonar image processing. So sonar, as you already know, it is a sound navigation and ranging. See the picture here. We are going to capture the image using the sound waves, that is called as sonar. Basically, where we are using this is it is mainly used for surveillance and also for remote sensing. See, before some days also some flights are missing or crash somewhere, means they are using the sonar device to check the flight parts under the sea, deposited or something. They are going for surveillance purpose. Also, they are using sonar. So basically, the sonar is of two types. One is a passive sonar and is an active sonar. What the sonar is? Usually, they kept this device, sonar device. This sonar device emits the sound waves. That device is kept under the hull. That means hull of the ship. If you are taking the ship, bottom of the ship is called as hull. At the hull portion, they have imported this sonar device. That device emits the sound waves, and that sound waves travels and hits the bottom of the sea, and it returns back to the hull again. So the detector present in the hull again detects the reflected sound wave and tries to make it as an image. In the passive case, the image has not been formed. It only captured the reflected sound wave, and this passive sonar is used to find the depth of the sea. So the sound waves travels through the depth of the sea and return back. The reflected sound waves is collected. Depend upon the time travel and the speed of the sound wave, they can calculate the depth of the sea. So using this passive sonar device and the bathymetry device, they can calculate the depth of the sea by the formula speed into time. And the second sonar device is called as active sonar. Here, this active sonar is used to, again, this is also used to send the sound wave, and the reflected sound waves are captured again. And from the reflected sound wave, they can form the image. So the reflected sound waves is not that much strong because there are a lot of disturbance. Some of the sound waves get reflected, scattered inside the sea water. So only a small portion of the sound wave only reflected back. So using that sound wave, they can form the image in order to surveillance or doing some survey or finding the fish or detecting the enemy ship under the sea, or doing some research, and also for seeing the seabed texture, coastal changes. All these things has been done using this active sonar image. So the captured active sonar image is not that much clear. It has lot of disturbances and noise due to some distortion and absorption, scattering of the water molecules. So we are going to improve the quality of the image. Then only we can able to satisfy all these kinds of applications. So what we are going to do is, we are going to improve the quality of the sonar image. So this is the motivation of this research. So these are the many application areas why we are going to do the sonar image enhancement. So it is used for the warfare and security purpose. It is going to survey any submarine bombs exist by the enemies, or it going to survey the underwater pipelining, or it going to survey the fish localization and the seabed texture, weather condition. Many things we need to survey. So for all these purposes, we need a sonar image. So sonar image quality is very less, as I told. So we need to increase the quality of the image. That is the main motivation of this research. So the problem identified is, basically all the sonar images are of grayscale images. It is not a color image. Usually if you are getting a color image, you can get more information, but it is a grayscale image. It is like a grayscale image only with a lot of noises, granules are present. So noise is basically here, multiplicative noises exist. Multiplicative noise, we cannot remove the multiplicative noise easily from the image. We have to choose a suitable filter for that. So for this research purpose, I have collected the image mostly from NIOT, National Institute of Ocean Technology, and also one more consultancy, Geomarine Consultancy. I got more images because these images are very much protected by the Google, so we cannot able to get more images directly from the Google. So I approached these centers to get the images for doing the research, and then this is the overall objective of the research. So we are mainly going to do the sonar image enhancement in order to identify the object present in the image using soft computing techniques. Soft computing is nothing but neural network, artificial intelligence, and first this and all comes under the soft computing techniques. So the main objective of the research is we are going to identify what are the noise present in the sonar image and how to filter those noises, how to enhance the quality of the image, and how to detect the edges, and then finally how to recognize the object present in the image. This is the main motive, and this is the functional block diagram for the methodology. First they have taken the sonar image, then I have used a neural network to identify what type of noise. Once you identify what is the noise present, then only we can use a suitable filter for removing the noise. So first and main process, pre-processing, is you have to identify what is the noise present in the image. So I have used this noise identification. Then third step I have chosen is image denoising. Image denoising is done by filtering or some other methods I will tell you now. Then after denoising, parallelly I have done the image enhancement, segmentation, change detection, and object identification. Finally, the object, what object present in that particular sonar image has been identified. So the methodology first I have adopted is identification of noise is done with the help of statistical moments. Statistical moments were like mean, standard deviations, skew, kurtosis, these and all are present in our image. We have to calculate those values, and based on that value we have to identify the noise present in the image. After identifying the noise, we need to remove the noise by denoising method. So many filters are exist, Lee filter, Frost, SRAD. As I already told, there is a multiplicative noise. Speckle noise is the major noise present in the. After identification of noise, I found out that speckle noise is the major noise present in the sonar image. So for removing the speckle noise, what are all the filters available? That I have to identify. So I identified the filters as Lee, Frost, SRAD, mean, median, Wiener, Gaussian. These filters are suitable for removing the multiplicative speckle noise. I applied those filters. I identified finally what filter is suitable for the sonar image. Then after filtering, I go for the image enhancement to improve the quality. Many image enhancement techniques are also exist. So some of the image enhancement techniques I applied, and I finally found out some image enhancement techniques suitable for the sonar image. And then edge detector, here also applied many edge detector operators. Finally I identified one. And segmentation also I evaluated for many techniques, and finally I identified. Then change detection and object identification. Final or ultimate aim is what object is present in our sonar image. That is done with the help of artificial neural network, ANFIS. The fuzzy and artificial neural network. With the help of that I identified. Mainly I used here the toolkit as MATLAB toolkit. At that time I don't know anything about the Python, so I used the MATLAB. So now by comparing the Python and the MATLAB, nowadays if you are anybody interested to do image processing projects or something, you prefer Python, because in Python there are many tools are available compared to MATLAB, and also it is easy compared to the MATLAB. Even GUI also available in our Python. So you can go directly to the Python, and you can download the software also. If you want a MATLAB, you have to purchase. You need a license for installing these things and all. So if free versions, if you are installing any free version of MATLAB, so many tools are not supporting for doing the image processing. So we need a licensed MATLAB version. But in case of Python, if you are doing image processing, many tools are available as an open source itself. So we cannot, there is no problem of doing any image processing techniques in Python. So it is more preferable compared to the MATLAB. So anybody interested to doing a image processing programs hereafter, they can choose a Python programming tool. Then identification of noise using a neural network. So here the first objective is we need to identify the noise. As I told, there is a speckle noise, Gaussian, impulse, a combination of speckle and Gaussian. Anything is possible in our image. So what I did is, first I take a sonar image, I added speckle noise and for some of the image, Gaussian noise for some of the image, impulse noise in some of the image, and combination of speckle and Gaussian noise in some of the image. So a group of images I am having, one group with speckle noise, another group with Gaussian, and then with the impulse and the combination of speckle and Gaussian. So the entire data set is divided into these groups. Again, what I did is, inside the neural network, I have given a formula for calculating mean, standard deviation, skew, and kurtosis. So once if you give any speckle noise image means, for that particular speckle noise image, what is the mean value, standard deviation, skew, kurtosis, I have calculated and created a table. So I have created a table like for the speckle noise, what is the mean range, what is the standard deviation range, what is the skew, and what is the kurtosis. Like this I have tabulated. Similarly for Gaussian noise, I have created a tabulation, impulse noise and the combination of speckle and Gaussian noise. Like this I have created a database. If any new unknown image has been coming into the neural network, the neural network automatically calculated this mean, standard deviation, skew, kurtosis and compare the value of that particular image into the database here. So if it matches to the range of any of this value, then it tells that particular noise is present in our given image. Like this, we are going to design a new, I have designed the neural network here. So there is an input image. This is the flow diagram. There is an input image. We are adding a impulse, Gaussian, speckle, combination of speckle, Gaussian. Like this, we are segregating the group. So for each group, it is given to a neural network and calculate the statistical parameter and creates the database. Once the training part is over, now the testing part. Here for the testing part, what we are doing is, any new target image is coming, that for that target image, it calculates a statistical parameter. Then that particular statistical parameter is compared with the database value. So if it matches any of the database value given, if it matches with speckle noise or Gaussian noise, impulse or speckle and Gaussian, we have already created the table. So if the value matches with any of the value, it automatically tells us your given image consists of this particular noise. Like that, we will get a message from the neural network. So this is the basic idea of artificial neural network I have created for identifying the noise. And this is the one sample I have given here. A, B, C, D, E. These are the different. A is the input image, B with the speckle noise, C with Gaussian, D is the image with the salt and pepper, and E is the image with the speckle and combination of speckle and Gaussian noise. So these are the different images. For those images, I have calculated mean, standard deviation, skew, kurtosis. So for the single image, it is given here. Like this, I have calculated for 60 images. Each 60 images for speckle, 50 images for Gaussian. Like this way, I have created a database. And then this is the chart after finding the values, all the statistical values. I have prepared a chart. So in this chart, see the value of kurtosis. So this kurtosis shows the much difference. See, the kurtosis of the speckle noise is very high. If it is, any new given image having the kurtosis value of the range 200 to 250, automatically we can tell your given image consists of speckle noise. So see the kurtosis value of Gaussian, it is around 0 to 50. So the kurtosis value is present in this range, automatically you can say your given image consists of Gaussian noise. So like the impulse noise or speckle and Gaussian, combination of speckle and Gaussian. So based on this kurtosis value, once you identify the kurtosis value of a target image or a given new image, you can easily say what type of noise is present in the given image. This is one of the process I have chosen for identifying the type of noise present in the image. Then this is the testing phase, this is the output. So any new given image, this is the output of the MATLAB. Speckle noise get identified. Here Gaussian noise is identified. Impulse noise, combination of speckle and Gaussian noise. So this is the output of ANN. So I got the accuracy of ANN network for finding the speckle noise as 93.6, Gaussian 89, impulse 92.8, and the combination of speckle and Gaussian 98.1. I have, as I already told, I have created the database using 60 images for each category. Speckle 60 images I have chosen, Gaussian like this way. So if you want to increase the efficiency, you have to increase the data base size also. Instead of using 60 images, if you increase the number of images like 100, 200, the accuracy also will increase. Then after identifying what type of noise present, you have to go for the denoising or filtering. What is the use of denoising? We are going to remove the noise present in the image. Basically in the sonar image, we are having a speckle noise. Broadly, it is affected by the speckle noise. So there are two procedures to remove the noise present in the image. First is pre-acquisition, second one is post-acquisition. Pre-acquisition means you have to adjust the hardware of the camera. If you want to get a good quality image, you have to use a good quality camera. If you go for a good quality or a hardware adjustment, our cost is also high. So in order to avoid this kind of thing, you have to go for the post acquisition. After getting the image, we have to do the processing in the image in order to increase the quality. So this post acquisition for removing the denoising is mainly a filtering technique. There are many filtering techniques are available. I have chosen here as some of the spatial domain filtering and also frequency domain filtering techniques. In spatial domain filtering technique, I have chosen mean filter, median, Wiener, Lee, Frost, Gaussian, SRAD. Frequency domain filtering also I have chosen along with DWD plus median, DW plus SRAD. And the hybrid combination of Gaussian SRAD, Gaussian Frost, SRAD and Frost. These are some of the filters actually I have chosen to do the denoising. So once I have taken images, I have applied filtering, spatial filtering, frequency domain filtering separately, and finally I have to find out what filter is suitable. So for finding the suitable filter, I need a quality parameter. So quality parameters like MSE, PSNR mean peak signal to noise ratio, visual information fidelity criteria, structural similarity index matrix, correlation. All these things are calculated from the output of each filter. So from this quality matrix, I am going to choose one of the filter for my for my sonar image. So I am applying all these filters. See, this is the output of all those filters. Finally, I have applied this quality matrix for the output images. This is the matrix quality matrix graph I got for all the filters. So finally, I identified that SRAD and the Gaussian combination of this SRAD and the Gaussian filter gives me more good result for filtering the speckle noise in a sonar image. Then I have applied this SRAD Gaussian filter for my sonar images. I filter out the noises. Then after filtering, I need to improve the quality. See, some of the denoising, other methods are available. Thresholding, I tested thresholding technique also. There are Vishu, Bayes shrink, Nash shrink methods are there. For those methods also, I have calculated the quality parameters. Comparing this thresholding technique with the existing spatial domain filtering technique, spatial domain filtering, SRAD and Gaussian gives me more accurate denoised result compared to other techniques. So finally concluded that SRAD Gaussian is the best filter. Then after filtering, I am going for the image enhancement. So image enhancement means we are going to increase the contrast of the image, brightness of the image. These things are called as image enhancement. So here some of the point processing image enhancement techniques I have chosen like digital negative, log transform, contrast stretching, power law, gamma corrections, histogram, gray level, image averaging. These are some of the image enhancement techniques I have chosen, and these are the outputs. So in this image enhancement, you cannot predict any one of the image enhancement techniques suitable for this particular sonar image like that. So the image enhancement, we have to choose the image enhancement technique based on our application only. So for some applications, it may be gamma correction gives us good results. Some having a image negative will give us good results. So the selection of image enhancement, any one particular image enhancement, we cannot say this particular is used for this kind of images. We cannot conclude like that. So we have to choose this. This is the final conclusion I found. So image enhancement, we cannot tell the particular image enhancement technique is good like that. So you have to select your image enhancement, one of the technique based on our application. So fine, and then after image enhancement, I go for the edge detection. So there are many edge detector operators, you know, that Canny, Pivot, Sobel, many edge detectors are there. So what I did is, I taken the image, I reduce the speckle noise, and I given the image to the edge detector operators alone. I split out the image into two groups. One of the group, I applied only the edge detection operation. For the second category of group, I applied the pseudo coloring. So these are the edge detector operators I have chosen: Canny, Sobel, Pivot, and Robot. And pseudo coloring method I have chosen. After doing the pseudo coloring, directly given to the image analysis part. But for the edge detector, after doing the edge detection, I did the morphological operation and then I given to the analysis part. So see, this is result. This is a noisy image. This is a filtered output, and this is the pseudo colored image. And these are all the edge detector operators output. So the 6 are the edge detector operators I have used. One is the pseudo colored image. See the second output. These are the edge detector outputs along with the morphological processing. This is the pseudo colored output. Comparing these two, the edge detection for the Canny edge detector along with the morphological operation gives me more accurate result compared to this pseudo coloring technique. So I have chosen this Canny edge detector along with morphological for detecting the edges of this given input image instead of the pseudo coloring. Then after finding the edge detection, I will go for the segmentation of the image. See, this is the different types of segmentation. These are the fuzzy C-mean, K-mean, EM algorithm, ODSO, tobacco. These are the famous segmentation techniques used for many applications. So I have chosen these techniques for my research also and applied these things and finding the accuracy of those segmented images. Based on the accuracy, I am going to find which one is better. So for that, I have chosen this 5 different segmentation techniques. This is the output. See, for example, I have taken 3 sample images. Input image sample 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 input images for a sample I have given. This is the EM segmented image. Third column, the third row gives us the FCM segmented output. K-mean segmented, then ODSO segmented, then tobacco segmented. After finding the output images, how to justify which one is correct based on the image quality only. So now I am going to calculate the image quality matrix for the output images of all the segmentation techniques. So by applying the image quality matrix like accuracy, PSNR, SSIM for the segmented outputs for those 3 sampled image, FCM segmentation gives more accuracy compared to all other segmentation. It gives me more accuracy. So I have chosen FCM segmentation for my sonar image segmentation. Then I go for the change reduction. So initially I did what is the noise present. Then I choose the suitable filter for doing the filtration of noise. Then I have go for the image segment enhancement. Then edge reduction and segmentation. After segmentation, I got some particular area or a region of interest I got separated from my object. After finding the region of interest, I need to identify the object or I need to find the changes exist between the 2 objects. So here I am going to find the change reduction. I will show you what is that. For finding the change reduction, I have used the neural network based supervised classification technique. So this is our neural network for finding the change between the target object and the reference object. See here, this is our flow diagram. There is a database. So if you are loading input image and the reference image, we are going to compare these two. If there is any changes exist between these images, it will evaluate and find out what changes exist between those 2 images. So for that verification, I have chosen 2 types of networks: feed forward network and pattern recognition network. So 2 types of networks I have taken. So feed forward network input output activation function is different. Pattern recognition input output activation functions are different. So here, this is the GUI I have created for finding the change between 2 images. See here, this is the input image. This is another reference. This is another image. So we are going to find the difference between these 2 images. So neural network and pattern recognition. These 2 are the network I have chosen. So these 2 are the network output. So here there are 2 input images and 1 reference image. So difference between these two are fine, and that difference is compared with our reference image. If your difference between these two images are calculated by feed forward network here, and the difference between these two images calculated by the pattern recognition network is here. So these two outputs of two different networks are now compared with the reference image. So the reference image tells that if your detected change output object consists of some of the properties I have already calculated for the reference image. So if those properties matches with the property of this particular object, then it will identify your given image is a fish image. Like that you are going to identify the object. So for finding the object, first you have to identify what is the difference between the image. So difference between the images are calculated by these two networks. So the efficiency or the accuracy of these two networks I have calculated. Finally, I identified that pattern recognition network gives me more accuracy for finding the difference. Then object identification. So after finding the difference, I have chosen the ANFIS, artificial neural network, for finding the object present in the image. This is the training part for ANFIS. Then this is the GUI I have created for the ANFIS. Again here, we have already identified what is the change. We have detected the object. Then we have to identify what is that particular object. So what is this object exist in our image? So that object is identified as fish. How we are finding this object? Based on the property, image property. If the image having this size of white pixels or this much black pixels, so the texture like this means this is the object fish. Like this way I have finally I have identified what is the object present in the image. So our ultimate aim is we need to find the object. So this is the second example. In the first case, I identified the object as fish. In the second case, I have identified the given object as the diver. Scuba diving, some person is present inside the sea. So that diver is there. So like this way, we can identify. So what are the steps we required in the image processing? First, identification of noise, then filtering, then enhancing, then edge detection, segmentation, finding the difference, and we have to calculate the image properties. Based on the properties, we are going to identify finally what object present in the image. So this is the procedure we are following usually to find the object, and in order to analyze any image in our image processing technique. So finally, in the conclusion and the future work, I have told that for the speckle noise type, SRAD Gaussian filter is more useful, and we cannot say any one image enhancement technique is suitable for any type of image. So image enhancement is unpredictable. Then edge detector operator, can edge detector along with morphological is good, giving me good result, and segmentation. Fuzzy C-mean segmentation gives me good result. Then change detection and object identification using artificial neural network gives me the accuracy of about 85%. Like this way, I completed this project work. Finally, I identified the object present in the sonar image. Then in the future work, future scope for this kind of applications are, so far what we did is step by step a manual interpretation is required. So once the filtration completed, we are going for deduction. Once the deduction completed, we are going for segmentation. Like this way, for each step manual interpretation is required. So instead of a manual interpretation, everything is done automatically, means it is well and good. So once you given any input image, our output should be a what is the object present in the image. In between, all the process has been done as a single step automatically, means that is well and good. So we need to have a proposal like that. Then unmanned vehicles also. So if you are taking any images using any unmanned vehicles, underwater UV unmanned vehicles, from that image itself directly all the procedures has been done. Finally, the output image also should be displayed for the unmanned vehicle images also. So if you want to increase the accuracy for all the image processing applications using neural network or artificial intelligence, our size of the database should be matters. So if you increase the database size, automatically the accuracy of the kit also get increases. So what is how to increase the size of the database? We have to collect more images. So for training part itself, you have to give training for the network with more number of images. Then only the testing output will give you accurate result. Then this is also one more example, real-time estimation of food calories and what is the food type of food we are having using image processing techniques. So for that, again, image has been captured. Pre-processing, removal of noise, these things has been done. DWT, discrete wavelet transform, and GLCM feature extraction, and it is given to a neural network. These features are stored inside the neural network using the database. So once any new image is given to this neural network, it identifies what type of food is it. See, for example, here we have taken a pasta, parota. That parota image is taken and it is given to a neural network. For a lot of training has been given to the neural network. Once if any new image is given, see the second image is any new image is given to the neural network. The neural network calculates the DWT, discrete wavelet transform. It extracts the features, and based on the features, finally it identifies what is that food. So this food is paratha, like that. So we can increase the features. So we are extracting here in this application, we are extracting features like energy, entropy, contrast, correlations, like this type. So if you are increasing the features, we can even calculate what is the calorie present in the paratha. Like this way we can create a chart. So this is also one of the application with it. So in recent trends, so in recent days, there are so many research in many fields are undergone in our digital image processing, like automatic detection, identification, classification of lesions. Lesions means the defects in our human body. Then food quality evaluation, whether if you take any apple, this apple is a good quality apple or a rotten apple, like that. The quality of the food has been identified using the image processing. Then gesture and the sign language recognition. This is also has been done. Then forensic medicine, mugshots and the verification also has been done. Then missile target, bomb damage assessment, automatic detection of solar and other cosmic phenomena. Large document is compressed and stored, and the bank check documents all get compressed. And so these are some of the recent techniques available in our digital image processing. So if you are interested, you can choose any one of the area and you can search regarding that, and you can use the Python tool for doing your process. So that's all about the image processing and the Python. So if you are having any doubt or any clarification, if you want, you can mail me into my mail ID. I give you the mail ID. My mail ID is so if you want any idea or any doubt, you can mail me. I will give you the thing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening patiently. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the participants.